I'm currently on a sabbatical and my first stop is Portugal. Welcome to a day trip to Aveiro from Coimbra. We started the day off, not surprisingly, with our traditional late breakfast of baked goods before setting off on our field trip. We would be heading off to Aveiro, a city which has earned the nickname the Venice of Portugal because of the canals that roll through the landscape and the moliceiro boats, the Portuguese version of the gondola once used to collect moliceiro seaweed. Some of them had some interesting motifs though, such as this one, which can be translated as, "What a big fish." They really take the Venice comparison seriously, as some restaurants and cafes have even adapted Venice-related names. Aveiro also has its unique charm, with its Art Nouveau and Romanesque architecture that adorn the old town center. It was a Sunday, and the city had been taken over by a marching band competition, with crowds waiting in anticipation. While strolling through the quaint surroundings, we came across a cute store that sold a variety of canned goods and ceramics, the perfect place for me to get a few souvenirs to take back home. Swallows, or andorinhas in Portuguese, are a symbol of good luck, and Antonio and I picked one out for each other as a keepsake of this wonderful trip. There was still some time to kill before the competition, so we decided to stop at a cafe to sample the famous ovos moles, a local pastry delicacy from the area made of egg yolks and sugar. The mixture would then be put into casings similar to communion wafers and shaped into nautical shapes such as shells. The particular ones we had were not up to Antonio's standards, but I found them absolutely delicious, maybe because they were the first ones I had ever had. Finally, it was time for the marching band competition. It was quite fun to wait in anticipation for the performances as they marched up and down the small streets of Aveiro. As we were leaving, another cafe beckoned us with their pastries, luring us through the window. Antonio decided that these were up to caliber, and we rushed in to try a variation of the ovos moles, castañas de ovos. Even a newbie like myself understood. This was at another level. Completely high on sugar, we drove off to Praia Costa Nova, a delightful village famed for its magnificent sandy coastline and colorful beach houses painted in traditional striped patterns. Stripes, stripes, stripes were everywhere, and there was even this Inception stripe house where the fence was made of striped houses. Everything was so symmetrical, it is truly any Wes Anderson fan's wet dream. Then, of course, there was the magnificent ocean, with the golden rays of the sun shining upon it as the mighty waves crashed upon the rocks. We went up on a rock to get closer to the water, and what an exhilarating experience. I was definitely wearing the wrong trousers for it, though. They were kind of parachute-like, and I feared to be blown away at any second. The sound of the powerful waves, laughter of groups in the distance, and people immersed in their own thoughts. It was indeed a blissful sunset. All too soon, it was time to tear ourselves away from the hypnotic power of the waves and head back to Coimbra. After all, we had an important dinner planned, leitão, or Portuguese suckling pig. We were famished since we had barely eaten anything all day. And what a feast it was, the soft warm bread, the oh-so-tender leitão, and the fries and lettuce salad that served as the ideal sides. Does the word suckling pig come from the word succulent? Probably not, but it should. And since we hadn't had enough egg and sugar-based desserts throughout the day, we split a tarta de amendoa e ovos. Sipping on our sparkling wine, it was the perfect end to a lovely day. And that was our field trip to Aveiro and Costa Nova. Thank you for joining me.